Let's go.
That's it! Now what?
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody, and welcome back to Visual Disturbance. It's been a long time since we've been live, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to everybody for the thoughts and prayers because I've had a long couple weeks. So I want to thank you guys very much from the bottom of my heart for all the love and everybody out there in the world of the internet and across the seven seas and all over this good old earth that we live upon. Thank you all so very much for all the kindness and the love. And it means so much to me because it's been very trying times indeed. I'm dusting a little bit of rust off, doing a little shaking around, get my wits about me because it's been a long time since I've been live. And I buried my father, my daddy. I buried him this last Saturday. It was a very hard time. Still grieving, but I want to get back on here on the channel, get back on the saddle here at the Visual Disturbance realm of things. So welcome to the channel. Let's talk about a particular topic tonight. But before we get into that, I want to introduce a new show to the broadcast, to the channel. It's called That's It, Now What? And tonight we're going to be talking about Lost in the Multiverse, Ancient Mysteries Meet Future Tech. And that's right, good old Thoth is on the thumbnail. So it's going to be an interesting topic tonight. We're going to be talking about particular things, some rabbit holes. We're going to be going along with some speculation along the way. But yeah, welcome to That's It, Now What? And I hope you enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you all so very much for being here with me. And your time is very valuable to me. So thank you so very much on this Thursday evening, spending time here at the Visual Disturbance world. So, like I said, that's it, now what? So let's just let's just see what this is about. Lost in the Multiverse. Have you guys ever heard of Thoth? Thoth is literally a deity, an important deity of the ancient Egyptian mythology, revered as a god of wisdom, writing, knowledge, magic, science, the moon, and judgment. His contributions were seen as foundational to Egyptian civilization, religion, and cosmic order. He was an inventor of writing of hieroglyphics. Literally, Thoth credited was creating hieroglyphics, and he called and hence God's words and all forms of writing, enabling the recording of history, laws, religions, and administration. And patron of scribes, he was honored daily by them. Pouring a drop in ink in his own name, the invention was essential for Egypt's bureaucratic and cultural achievements. So also Thoth himself, he was believed to be invented mathematics, geometry, astronomy, medicine, botany, and other sciences. Egyptians attributed to him the authorship of all works on science, philosophy, religion, and magic. So, the question is, folks, where is Thoth today? I've asked that. Where is Thoth? And we're going to jump into that. I've talked about this topic several times on FOJC, and we talked about the halls of amity. And I want to take you all down a rabbit trail, what I think this is going to hand up at, where we're going to go to, where this whole transition to this new world of AI mechanisms and a little voodoo around, a little magic, a little bit of everything along the way. So, I thought about it. I thought about the divine plan, thinking about literally God the Creator. I'm not talking about Thoth. I thought about who Thoth was. I thought about in my mind, in my little Kentucky flavor, of what resonates in my brain, what's left of my brain activity. I thought about who Thoth was and who he really is and what he really represents. We'll try to be very graceful on how I introduce Mr. Thoth. But I would have to say Mr. Thoth had to be a human at one period of time, and he became a Gilberine. We talked about this in the biblical narrative. That's my 2 cents. And I think the individual was able to transfer himself and transform himself into something that we would call into the future of 2030 transhumanism and a few things that are incorporated with the AI mechanisms and applications that are coming down the road. No joke. So let's just talk about it. You got these divine domains and roles, right? Scribe of gods, record all divine thoughts and earthly events, inventor of the Madu Netcher, say that 15 times and see what happens. Hieroglyphics, the moon god, regulated the cycles of the moon and time, acting as the bridge between day and night. Master of magic, the lord of magic, who spoke the universe into existence through the power of precise sound. Well, those of y'all have been following me for a long period of time. I believe in the biblical narrative. I love the biblical narrative so very much. It's one of my, well, it's the only to-go-to book. But it's at the top of the charts. It's number one. The rest of it falls into place after that. But when I think about the biblical narrative, I think about when God spoke things into existence. And then there it was. Light, everything, the moon, the stars, the sun. And guess what? We're going to be talking about the moon here on FOJC on Sunday Night Live. You don't want to miss that, folks. We're going to be talking about the moon and all the speculative things going on there with the UFOs and aliens and moon gods and moon little people and everything else under the sun. Maybe even throw some Manakuabu in that show. Who knows? But that's for another channel. That's for another channel, another show. But yeah, magic, scribes of gods, creating things with what? Vibration, right? Or writing. What? Well, then I thought about this. The Ibis and the moon, the lunar keeper of time, Thoth was the moon god of ancient Egypt, serving as the bridge between the day of Ra and the night of the dead. He was regulated time, sees the stars depicted with the head of an Ibis. His beak mirrored the crescent moon, symbolizing the precise and careful documentation of the universal laws. So, you look at this and see where we're at right now. And it's really hard to ponder and even comprehend our existence right now because things are coming off the rails. And guess what, folks? Guess what? There's nothing new in the sun. The days of old, the days of Job, the days of Genesis 6 are here right now. And we're playing, ice hockey and ping pong and bing bong or whatever we're doing all these different things for distractions. And these things are still in play. And let me explain where I'm headed with this. So lunar keeper of time and all these different things, Mr. Thoth, that's how I'm going to say his name. And he's got that beak. He's got all this technology. I see the Ankh, the different things with Thoth that make me think of technology. Well, Thoth was a keeper of knowledge, right? When you think about the halls of amity and going to the halls, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, you think about it in the ways of him going to this secret place, the secret chamber, the secret containment unit, and being able to stay there and not age and get all kinds of enlightenment, knowledge, and come out of there shining all brand new when everybody passes away, and he comes back in a different time frame, and he says, voila, I got all the magic. I come out of the water fountain. I come out of the ocean. I've heard all kinds of things where Mr. Thoth resides at. So it makes you think when you talk about the tic-tacs and the different things with the ocean where they're speculating that the UFO phenomenon is coming from. So, what if Mr. Thoth is about coming back? And the two things I think about, too, is I'm not going to go look for him in the toilet. I'm not going to look for him in the sewage tank. I'm not going to look for him in the stream. I'm not going to look for him in the creek or the ocean because Mr. Thoth is of the fallen. When you become a Gilberine, you become something that is not of a human nature, a hybridization creature. That is what Mr. Thoth is representing. He's representing the fallen nature, fallen angels, fallen understanding, fallen humanity. This is what we're talking about here, folks. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So you have this divine divinity, this deity, right? And when you look at the divine architecture, inventor of writing, Thoth created, like I said earlier, the Madu Netcher. Say that 10 times. I said 15 earlier. He didn't just invent symbols. He invented the power of memory and the ability to transmit complex thought across generations. Masters of science, he was good at mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. Every great temple built in Egypt was considered a physical manifestation of Thoth's divine geometry. Well, he created this hieroglyphics, and what is humans supposedly created, right? Who and what, as the humans, what have we created? What our claim is, and our little insignia and our little sticker on it is the AI mechanism, which I say, I'm going to throw out a little speculative mindset here, a little bit of, let's just say a wrench in the motor here. What if and this is not a what if program, that's it. What if this Madu nature hieroglyphics is what he made? But what if it's packaged differently and the terminology is just hiding behind the same paywall of AI? And that's why when you think about what he does at the Halls of Amity, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in more depth, what if he's able to manipulate things with what we would deem magical, but we've done the same thing that with what Mr. Thoth has done. We have documented, we have added things, we have used technology, like our phones, like our phones here, and we document our day or document what we understand and document how we can articulate and remember, and we use that for documentation for memories. Well, Mr. Thoth has took it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm back, the fog is lifted, the earth is shifted to raise the gifted. I'm kind of joking around about a song, but that's what Mr. Thoth represents. All hail the great Thoth, right? And forgive me if I come off as a little scoffy, because I just don't get it. I think it's so pathetic. I'm on a road tonight. I don't know. Maybe I've been so gone for so long, I'm kind of spinning some old songs along the way. And forgive me for that, because this is such a very, let's just say, aggravating and complex topic. And I'll talk about that here after a while. So the halls of judgment. You have the halls of judgment. Official record keeper, Thoth recorded the weight of the heart against the feather of Maya, I think it's Mate, for every soul entering the afterlife. Maya, excuse me. Mediator of the gods, known as a neutral party, he resolved disputes between deities, maintained the balance of the cosmos. Divine lawmaker. He authored the laws that govern both the physical world and the spiritual realms, ensuring the order Amati, Mahi, prevailed. So, like I said at the beginning of the program, a little rusty, folks, a little rusty. And let me just get a drink real quick. And hey, this cup's laser proof. Little cup of coffee. It's a big cup, actually. A lot of people don't know what I'm saying, but it's laser proof, folks. It's blue. So we're already ahead of the Egyptians. Blue light filtering vision therapy glasses and a laser proof cup along the way. It can take you far, folks. It can take you far. So we have this physical realm, spiritual realm, and a lot of folks on the internet of things are like, I can't believe we're in a simulation. I can't believe we've been quantified. I can't believe there's been a great shift. The ball didn't drop right at the festivals in New York. The ball it glitched out, didn't work in 2026. I've heard everything in the last 12 hours make your head hurt, okay? So, like I said earlier, what if AI is controlling us just like the days of Thoth, and he did it through hieroglyphics? And that's why we can't really understand it. Well, there is some folks out there that can translate it. But what if these things are all mixed in to what we are dealing with in today's society? That is a good question. So, the question is, now what? Right? Now what? Well, little did I know, when I keep digging a deep dive into this terminology, you have Hermes involvement. They say that Thoth is also representation of Hermes. You think about the Book of Enoch, not the first one, but the second and third. They even claim that he was the bad Enoch. So he comes in waves. He goes to the halls of Amity, comes out shine like a brand new individual in a celebrity stature, and he sits there and everybody got the red carpet out to him. Thoth, the almighty creator. Could you imagine? Especially me with my hillbilly Kentuckian. I said Kentuckian. Yes, I did. I don't say that much, but I was around an individual the other day that kept saying Kentuckian. So it's Kentuckian, folks, today. But could you imagine? Here comes Thoth, Harry. He comes out of the Vimana, coming out of the ocean waters, and he's going to meet us at the shoreline of the beach of Myrtle Beach and give us all knowledge, all abilities, and all powers. All hail Thoth. Could you imagine? And I'm over here going, shout to the rooftops, Jesus is king. They'd be like, depart from me, you evildoer. You love Jesus. I can only imagine. It'd be like World War 90 in like 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, are you of Atom? Are you of Atom? Yes, I am of the seed of Adam. Is that going to be a problem? No. The helix is different with us. I better watch what I say. Better watch what I say. There's a little fun, comical part in here. So, the 7 principles, when you look into this, we're going to reach to the topic of the Emerald Tablets. We have mentalism. The all is mind. That's what it says. The universal is mental. There's a lot of things mental right now. A lot of people, a lot of things going off into the, hey, what's happening? Things are going off the rails. Mental state is kind of a, let's just say it's a very hard life out there in 2026. But like it says here, all things exist as thoughts in the grand consciousness. So then you go on, as above, so below, corresponds with as above, so below. The micro, the macro worlds mirror each other. Vibration, oh man, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates, the bridge to modern physics. That's what we're dealing with, folks. And I cannot believe when you go to the certain powers that be, they're like, I have never heard of anything. I don't know if angels, I don't know. Right now my eyes are crossed, but you can't see that. But I can only imagine when there's a higher authority saying, I don't understand. I've read a little bit about the book of Enoch, and we're talking about people that are in higher authority, and they're just like fishing. You know, like the public can't understand this. We can't understand the bridge between the physical and the realms, right? And you can watch Marvel movies and they'll tell you more information than what they're telling you at the higher ups. It's bizarro world, folks. It's bizarro world. But hey, what do I know? So anyways, vibration. Lose yourself in the music, the want. Yeah, I'm just messing around, but there's no rapper out there. I don't want to promote his music. Come on, Brian, get your head out of the gutter, man. Get you out of the toilet where you're searching for Thoth. So you have this vibration situation, vibratory rate. I keep hearing that terminology when you're looking through these lenses and you see the Vimanas, the Ifas, and all the circular crafts, and everybody's going on and on about UFOs, and they put us here, and we don't know where anything goes. We walking around looking for the golden arches, and we thinking it's all fresh and clean and good for consumption. We don't even know where we are at. We got, that's what I hear all the time. Activation, you know. That's a little, if you're watching Rex, there you go, my friend, giving you a hard time. And, but speaking of, you have all this crazy phenomenon going in our reality, and people just seem to be like, going along, get along. Does anything's possible? No, nothing's possible. None of this matters, Brian. Thoth doesn't exist. It's all a bunch of rubbish. It don't mean nothing. I hear all that a lot. So we look at the multiverse situation. A lot of people out there saying, I am alive in 17 different bodies and I'm coming into one. I kid you not, I used to have a neighbor that said that one time and I about passed out. And he was talking about as above, so below, and really making the commentary like, hey, I can feel myself being up here and I have a bad self down below, down there in the depths. You ought to hear the conversations I've had, folks. It'll make you go cray-cray real quick. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A little spray. Make you go cray-cray. I had to incorporate that in the program tonight. Forgive me, folks. Forgive me. I've had a bad few weeks. Y'all give me a little grace. Just a little. So this principle of vibration, you look into quantum strings, quantum entanglement, you look at all that good stuff. Thoth, look at Thoth, right? Principle of vibration suggests that the difference between matter, energy, and the spirit is simple. Their rate of vibration, the alignments in the modern string theory, where all particles are vibrating energy filaments. If these vibrations differ across scales, it naturally impels the existence of parallel dimensions or the multiverse of overlapping frequencies. And we'll just keep on going on here. You look at the planes of existence, the physical plane, the 3D world we inhabit, the governed by dense vibration and slow, moving matter. Mental plane, a higher frequency dimension where thoughts and ideas take immediate form. Spiritual plane, the ultimate multiverse layer through consciousness, is unified and timeless. Okay? Well, when you think about this, and the first thing I think about is what I keep hearing about I have to watch what I say still here on this in 2026. There's individuals talking about this certain term. And let's just talk about it real quick. Dimensions of reality, modern versus ancient. Current M theory suggests the universe consists of 11 dimensions. I guess it's like Ninjago. Anybody out there is a Lego fan? I think there's like 16 dimensions there. So they got one leg ahead of us. One leg ahead of us, folks, at the Lego world. Hello. But 11 dimensions, the Hermetic texts have long taught that the reality is a series of nested planes that it coexists the same space, but at different vibrational pitches. So it's like, dun, 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 like playing rock music, in the different genres, and you'll go out there and do a backflip and go spend $10,000 at your local store because it gets you all hyped. You don't even know what you're doing. We're in a trance. Forgive me for being so straightforward. Ongoing here in the slide, Thoth was described as having the ability to walk between these worlds. So think about this for a minute. We got a mythological precursor to interdimensional travel. So, if you remember, we had a guest on here, an archaeologist. He's a heck of an archaeologist. The Maverick, Aaron Junkins, was talking about this with Gobekli Tepe in his book. So if you have this connection between the physical realm and this Stargate kind of concept in interdimensional travel, what does the higher powers know that's going on? I think Thoth was like digging up bones, a little country song and doing a little jingle-little-ling. I don't even know why I said that, but I just did. And playing around with interdimensional travel, and guess what, folks? They're admitting it. They can manipulate space, time, whatever you want to call it, and God help us. Because with AI coming around the bend, nothing new under the sun. Ecclesiastes always talk about that, the biblical narrative. I just can't help it. It's one of my favorite books. Just love it. And welcome to the channel. A little plug in here, folks. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're just now new to the channel. Welcome all walks of life, even if you don't believe in the biblical narrative or anything I'm talking about. As long as you're here talking and hanging out with me, hey, welcome to the channel. Because like I said at the beginning of the program, I appreciate everybody's time. And that I'm not going to discriminate against anybody out there. So, welcome to the channel, all walks of life. All walks. So, not only do we have dimensional travel, we have this reality, this breaking through the veil, whatever you want to call it, and you look at the Emerald Tablets. This is a very controversial topic in itself, but you look at the Emerald Tablets. The emerald color makes you think of the Wizard of Oz. We've done many shows on this. Toto has got to go. Okay? Toto is chasing the yellow brick road with the Tin Man, and you have the lion, and you have the Scarecrow and Dorothy in the red slippers. And yeah, folks, we don't even want to talk about that. Down the rabbit hole we go. So the Emerald Tablets, when you have a conspiracy with Thoth, was a Atlantean survivor who possessed an indestructible green tablet containing the secrets of gravity, immortality, and the universe. Occultists believe these tablets are written in a vibrational language that can only be understood once the reader raises their own conscious frequency. Are you hearing me, folks? Are you hearing me? Could y'all imagine going to those churches that they have the big box? Have y'all heard this? The boxes that have AI, it's an altar, and it like hums. It's like the D-Wave computer. It gives you it vibrates and has like a humming noise, and it gives you understanding. I mean, folks, we are down in this swamp, okay? In the abyss. So I guess what? Vibrating Emerald Tablets, could you imagine? I want to follow you, Thoth. I'll follow you through the airwaves, through the consciousness of the cosmos, Thoth. And all of a sudden, you don't get access to the Halls of Amity. Only the good old Thoth, Egyptian, well, he goes back to Atlantean, supposedly. Could you imagine? You are denied access. Hello. I got to get a lot of water tonight and a lot of coffee. So, consciousness frequency, you hear this all the time. I even heard it just recently about the Vatican talking about that humanity has to unlock something and this miraculously chain breaks off. So it might be the same concept when you look at the Emerald Tablets and talking about the different projects that are going on in Giza as we speak right now. So, welcome to the Wizard of Oz. And who's behind the curtain? Well, the simulation theory is who's behind the curtain, this cosmic architect. I'm joking. Take me serious, folks. I have to cut up and joke around a lot. And I just want to tell everybody, a lot of people don't, sometimes when I'm out in the wild, out in the world, because I act exactly the same way that you see on the TV here, or whatever device you're, playing this on or watching this on. I'm the same. It's the same. It's just, I just do it. I'm just the same as I am on here. But what's so comical about it, some people, if I say that I found a camel down the road from me, or say something to that magnitude, people tend to don't believe me. And then I'm like, I got the receipt. I got the picture. And they're like, Brian, I will never question you again. So sometimes I throw little let's just say a little, Easter eggs, like I'm referring to video games. I throw a little comedy in with little nuggets, and I'm actually am telling the truth. It's just kind of comical along the way. So, the cosmic architect, a modern conspiracy theory, presents the Thoth is the architect of simulation reality. The all is mine. In our universe, essentially a software program, hieroglyphics are viewed as a source code used to program the physical laws of our timeline. The other versions of the simulation exist in parallel. It sounds like a bad X-Files episode. I think it's the first season. There's a little kid looking at static on your old rabbit ear television. He's got ones and zeros, folks, because he's got abilities on the TV show. Listen, they're saying, K Ultra, M K, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. There's all kinds of different things, but people possess some type of telepathy or moving objects and bending spoons, you name it. Stranger Things on steroids, season 9. I don't even recommend it, but hey, but that just came out or just ended recently. I haven't watched it. I hadn't even got past the first season. I never watched it. I'm not promoting it in anything or shape or form, but it makes me think of that. So a bad X-Files episode. You got ones and zeros, and it makes me think of this Enochian language, good and bad and whatever you want to throw at it, and Thoth playing around with software program, playing around with technology, and I think that's what we got going on here. That's what I come up to my conclusion. I think the Halls of Amity is a technological advancements, folks. I think it's binary codes on steroids with quantum entanglement. I think that's why all these archaeology sites are literally being secured down, because here's a theory of mine. When you have a computer that comes into existence, it actually activates the ancient computers. Stay with me. If it's got a certain frequency, like the story not too long ago about the Super Nintendo, you can go look this up. A lot of people online was saying, my Super Nintendo's speeding up, and I haven't changed or modded it in any shape or form. And that was a big kind of viral thing a couple years ago, like a year or so ago. So if the Cosmic Architect code is playing around in the binary code, this goes back to the days of old when you look at the Genesis 3:15, talking about putting enmity between thy seed, looking at the narrative of the Garden of Eden and the serpent. I think we're dancing in the cosmic boogie woogie, like Brother David would say. So, not only do we have biometrics and different things and this new push for this new world of understanding, there's nothing under the sun. I think Thoth was playing around with fallen angel knowledge and knew exactly what he was doing. So, the Lord of divine words, okay? The tongue of Ra, we mentioned that earlier. Thoth was believed to be the heart and tongue of the sun god Ra. He translated the divine will into a human language and structured the laws of the Maya. Cosmic balance, gift of writing. Egyptians called their writing Madu Netjer. I said that earlier, words of God. Thoth did not just invent the letters. He gave humanity the ability to preserve memory across time. So just hear what I'm saying. If the halls of amity have the halls of the record that are kind of like the Vatican that supposedly, lost like 200 miles or something, 100 and something miles worth of records, scrolls, tablets, Samaritan tablets, whatever you want, cuneiform tablets, every type of tablet. So if Thoth gave us the ability to do that, let's just say in quote, which I highly doubt, it was what he, let's just say, hijacked and took it upon himself to be the authority and have a higher stature and say, I am a little G God. Like I said, he's dancing around with stuff that he probably couldn't even comprehend his reality. And wonder where Thoth is now. That's a really good question. Wonder where he's at. So, not only was he the official keeper with the scales of the soul of the Hall of Truth, recording the verdict of Anubis weighs the heart of against a feather. And then talking about Thoth writes down the final judgment. An advocate for the just, he ensures the process of the fair, protects the deceased from demonic interference. Well, folks, I'll just tell you this right now. There's so much going on in our reality. There's demonic activity in every crack and crevice, even the toilet bowl, even the flashlight. Okay? I had to see something so crazy the other day and have to endure so much when I was with my daddy on his last 6 days. I'm not kidding you, folks. You're not making this up. I'm not using that imagery. I'm not using that number just to put attention. I stayed with him six days, 5 nights, and he went through pure insanity until he left this world. And I was right beside him the whole entire time. And no telling what my daddy is seeing now. So no telling. Unbelievable. Heavenly bound. But my goodness, my dad was awesome. I just want to pay tribute to him one more time. Awesome individual. Awesome individual. But yeah, interference of demonic control, demonic activity, people losing their minds, people losing their wits. They can't even take a phone without going outside, and they forget where they are. Something is not right. Something is wrong. Something very wrong in the midst of our reality. It's disgusting. We are better than what they tell us we are. They tell us we are not an essential or not better. We are the useless readers, right? It gets weirder and weirder by the day. How many more times do we need to be insulted? There's my rant. Well, speaking of the hidden secrets of Giza, the Hall of Records, right? It's rumored to be buried beneath the Sphinx pause containing Thoth's original Atlantean library. The Librarian of the Stars. Conspiracy suggests that Thoth is a non-human entity guarding the universal history. Well, like I said before, Thoth is probably going to come out of the water. I am of the Stargate. I can only imagine. And I'm going to be over here talking, hillbilly, hillbilly, hillbilly. You know. I got my blue cup, Thoth. I got my blue cuff. Laser beams. Dodge and weave. I can't see good, but I think God has got his hand on me. I'm not being sarcastic. That's the way it's going to be. This is insanity. Stay with me, folks. So not only have they found circular cylinder-shaped things that are going on, that's activity under Giza, the individuals out there with that project, I'm going to watch what I say here, they are literally in the midst of finding, they say, the Halls of Amity, 2,000-something feet down underneath the Giza pyramids. So what if, well, yeah, that's it, right? That's what we should be asking. Well, it's not just that's it. Here we go. We got one more thing. The Halls of Records. And we talked about that briefly just a second ago. Secrets under the Sphinx. I've heard everything under the sun about this. I heard that there's going to be a light come out of the sky, and it's going to navigate to the Sphinx, and all of a sudden the cosmological signature and the heat signature will heat up, and all of a sudden Sphinx will reveal some hidden truth underneath that pall. So if you think about the long-standing conspiracy, what we just referred to earlier, is Atlantean knowledge underneath the Sphinx, beneath the pall of the Great Sphinx. Seismographic readings that have confirmed the presence of chambers through excavations remaining restricted by the Egyptian government. I'm going to tell you, folks, I remember seeing something back in 2015 where they was literally looking, we've talked about this many times here on the channel, where they found sarcophaguses. Remember, I'm dusting off the rust and dusting the dust off. It's been like 3 weeks, folks. That there was this black something substance inside these pharaoh tombs, and they said it was the blood of the gods, the blood of the gods. And they was taking it and drinking it and putting it in flask and running around and selling online. Then all of a sudden, some dark things happened, and they got in some bad trouble with it, and they really did claim that there was nano, you know what, involvement in that. So if there's any kind of technological advancements, and we look around the nano, you know, saying, what in the world is going on? If there's something that is dated 3 to 3,500 years old, and it matches the same pattern that certain military applications still have to this day, and it's still the exact same, basically, in quote, tech, like I said earlier with Ecclesiastes, something is at a foot. Well, the paw's foot, a secret under the Sphinx. So, I guess we'll have to wait around and see what happens and see what really pops off. But to me, folks, I can't get past one thing. The multiverse. You know, you think about the multiverse and you think about what it really is referring to. A lot of people out there have a little speculative mindset, or even said the hypothetical existence of multiple existent universes beyond our own, collecting, encompassing everything that exists, time, space, matter, energy, and physical laws. I guess this all resides back on Thoth's shoulders, right? He took it upon his mantle and started doing something that was probably going back to the nefarious things before the Garden of Eden. That's my take. Pre-Adamic and the Atlantean days. He's playing around with people's emotions or whatever, And there's a certain type of star that he would flash, and all of a sudden, people would start pandemonium, insanity would control folks. I'm not going to mention it here on the channel. Well, there's a certain star that he would throw up, and all of a sudden, things would be in a either lovely dystopian future or pandemonium in the streets and apocalyptic. So, that is plumb scary to think about. So, speaking of, that's it? That's it, Brian? Is that it? Now what? Are we lost in transition? Like I said at the beginning of the program, lost in the multiverse? Well, let me just throw this out here real quick. The expansion of AI mechanics, right? We're looking at the multimodal AI, and then you have the audio input, audio output. We look at different things that we use on a daily basis. You pick up your phone, you can have audio output, audio input. We have different things with the structure of the mechanisms that are in our phones. They have the circuitry in them, all these different things, gold and silver, all these different gold, and there's different, let's just face it, there's certain things that I can't even say that's on the board. It'll blow your mind. There's just certain things I'll get in trouble. Got to respect the YouTube policies, because I love YouTube. So let me just throw out these 2 or 3 my synopsis. I can't even talk tonight. My brain's fried. Well, we come down to the hypothetical, right? Well, what in the world, when you look at the AGI, you look at the I meant to say synopsis, but my brain shut off there for a moment. You got to give me some slack, folks. Got to give me some slack. Give me a little slack here tonight. I buried my father on Saturday. I'm surprised I'm even on here, by God's grace. So when you look at advanced AI and look at superconducting computers and artificial general intelligence, which is AGI, literally AI is matching exceeding human cognitive abilities, folks. We're looking at something that cross-references into the unknown, looking at what I referred to today. The moon, all these different things that refer back to Thoth. We look at sound, we look at light, we look at light spectrum, we look at these different things, and AGI is on the mend. I mean, it's literally right here at our fingertips right now. You have diverse adaptation resonating with the dominions, often with mandating speculative sensory modules like hearing. No joke. There's all kinds of different things, and I've said this many times on the channel, AI stations, AI meta, you go these different things, these facilities, these, let's just say big hubs. I got to watch what I say. They use literally hundreds and thousands and more than that. I've even heard up to 1 million gallons of water a day. So, where there's water, there's life. Where there's sound, hello. God spoke everything in existence. Think about it. And then you have a little, individual going around that had some type of technological advancements because he probably got it from the fallen, more than likely. Or they gave it to him. Or he's masquerading as a fallen angel, as a human. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we got some shape-shifting going on here with Mr. Thoth. Maybe that's it. Like I said, now what? What do we do now? These advanced ancient mysteries literally are coming to a theater near you. They're coming to an understanding of a reality of where we are, and we can't see through the foggy glass and see through the field, through the trees, because we're focused on aliens coming to take us into oblivion. And it's probably going to be this, like something that looks like this on the screen here. It makes me think of a bad SG-1 series. Well, no, excuse me, they never one of them. None of those episodes is bad, but it makes me think of Stargate SG-1. And the predictive programming was commencing way back in the day. And now everything is transpiring into the mother lode of binary code and cosmic quantifiable data. Think about it, folks. Think about it. The days of old when Job was there, and you look at the Genesis 6 verse 4, you look at the Genesis 6 in general, and you think about what is really going on with the fallen angel narrative, and the ones that took the sons of God and made with the daughters of men. The sons of God took the daughters of men and mated with them and bore giants. You're looking at different factions of different things that are going bump in the night. And like I said and alluded to earlier, a bad X-Files TV show is what we're looking at here. We're looking at interdimensional travel. We're looking at all kinds of aspects that are coming, sight, sound, every type of touch, everything that a human has of a sensory is literally a full embodiment of AGI interacting here soon. That's what they're pushing for with the physical world. Like we'll be benefiting with audio perception, understand the speech. I mean, navigating through all kinds of different mechanisms. And basically, like the Bible says, iron and clay do not mix. And what if, and this is not a what if program, but what if we're getting bamboozled into believing something that is so ancient and so back through antiquity that we will literally take it hook, line, and sinker, and these individuals like Thoth here smiling and laughing because he knows that we are being fooled and we are more than what they are telling us, and we are being told that to receive knowledge, but ultimately at the end of the knowledge aspect of it, we are worshiping the knowledge. Think about it. I just came up with that on the fly. We are ultimately worshiping knowledge, but we have been giving everything on this earth to navigate through this world. So basically what I'm referring to, we are paying homage to the fallen deities. We are literally wanting to figure out how they did it. We want to figure out how immortality works. We want to be to this level of the transhuman phase. Well, I just want to throw us out here before we conclude the program. I got something to tell you guys. I always call us out in the wild because I don't get out much. I literally don't. A lot of people don't believe that, but so be it. I'm telling you the truth. I got to hang out with David Carrico the other day. No joke. Big shout out to David Carrico. And I got to hang out with him, break bread with him. We went to a certain place. No joke. We went to Lon John's. I know, folks. But I tell you, I always have a heart for Lon John's. But I got to tell you this real quick story. I'm sitting there breaking bread, and all of a sudden, it was pretty late at night. And all of a sudden, this woman comes in. She's an Uber driver. And she comes in and greets the lady behind the desk. And she literally says, "How are you doing? Honey, how you doing?" Just casual conversation. And all of a sudden, the older lady said, "I'm doing okay. I'm tired of being an adult." And she said, "I hear you." And that one girl said, "I wish I could be a kid again." And then all of a sudden, the Uber driver said, "Well, don't worry about it. In 20 or 30 years, you can reverse that." No joke. I kid you not. It's like Benjamin Button on steroids, okay? A Brad Pitt movie. All of a sudden, you go get you some chicken and fish and get you some coleslaw on the side. You get you literally an Uber driver saying, and it's an older lady talking to an older lady, "Yes, in 20 or 30 years, you'll be able to reverse that and go back in time." And I thought to myself, you are literally saying that you are going to be able to basically outrun death and have the ability to reverse aging. I'm not making this up, folks. This happened. And David was just sitting there eating. He's been going through a lot. He's just sitting there eating. I've been going through a lot. He's just sitting there eating. He said, "Yep, that's about it." I said, "What did I just hear?" So big shout out to David Carrico and those women, because they're going to get 20 or 30 years shaved off. That's what they said, and they're ready for it. Transhuman phase, insert into our reality. No joke, folks. That happened, and I figured that would be the best to conclude the program. But yeah, that's it. Now what? Lost in the Multiverse. Secret Society. Get you a little fish along the way. Ancient mysteries meet future tech. Well, like I said, folks, go outside, enjoy the clear blue skies with lines in the skies. Get you a little magnetic field anomaly with a cup of coffee with the blue cup, and it goes a long ways. You can dodge them lasers left and right, and nobody will know what's going on. So get your painted tarp today with the light blue resonance frequency so the lasers won't come and get you. If y'all even knew what I was talking about, if you're just thinking I'm just full of it. But seriously, folks, if you go back a couple years ago, we talked about this on the channel. What in the world is going on? Welcome to 2026, one day after 2025. And I can only imagine, folks, what's really going to happen. I really, really want to know what's going to happen in our world, because things are not what they seem. I think things, the old days before Noah, we are living in Noah 2.0, and we can't even resonate. Like I said, we have to have our phones to get out of the driveway. Okay? We can't even go down the street without their phones. And I'll leave you with this. Why in the world have they disclosed all this information all of a sudden? That's a good question. Why in the world you can just get access at the fingertips right now of the supercomputers in your hands And why are they allowing all this stuff to just literally be just pouring out of every which way? Literally. Because there's something coming down the road? Is there something coming in 2026? A lot of people are speculative and saying the aliens are going to come and take us out of this place. We're going to be 5D, 4D, 6D, 7D, 8D, whatever type of vibratory rate you want to talk about. They're talking about the Kundalini spirit, talking about vibrating themselves into a astral projection realm. Well, guess what? Halls of Amity is waiting for you, folks. And I don't want to be playing around the halls of Amity, and I ain't going to play around the gate. Okay? Nor am I going to be begging for it. So, no bowing to Thoth, Mr. Thoth. No offense, but this good old boy from Kentucky is okay with his bluegrass cup and his bluegrass state. Okay? So that's it, folks. And I'll leave you with this. Now what? What is going to happen in 2026? Comment below in the description box. Or I said description box. Check out the description box, but comment below if you get an opportunity. And like I said, I appreciate everybody. I'm going to give a shout out to a few folks here. I'm going to tell you, Leonard Allen, God bless you so much. And Nez Lover, thank you so very much. All these folks out here. And keep your head on a swivel and keep your head on Christ Jesus. A lot of people get offended by that, and that is okay. Like I said earlier, I appreciate you being here, and hopefully that this has blessed you in a dark world, because I like to have just a good outlook on things, because things have been rough for me in the last 7 years, and especially when I just lost my dad. It has been nothing but a big transformation progression of life. I mean, this has been crazy, and a refinement has happened. So I just want to say, Missy, good seeing you. Thank you for being here. Also, Mary, good seeing you. And David, I've seen you before. Good seeing you. And Swamp Light, always a pleasure, my friend. Raymond Matthews, bless you. I've seen your comments. Thank you for being so kind and generous all the time. James Powell, good seeing you. It's been a while since I've seen you on the chat. And a few more shout-outs here. SGH741, good seeing you. Craig Hagan, it's always a pleasure. Tracy, good seeing you. And thank you, SGH. I just seen that super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. I just didn't recognize that. So God bless you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so very much for doing that. You did not have to do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, and then where's Brian Norman? I usually see him in the chat. He's there somewhere. I know he is. I thought of him just a minute ago. And but yeah, somebody said all hell's getting ready to break out. Well, I'll just give you my 2 cents on this. When AI comes around, I'm going to be like this. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to be like this. The guy that can't hardly see well. It's going to be like the Book of Eli, the movie, and Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey. That's going to be me with a little MacGyver and Indiana Jones in the mix, okay? Just letting you know, when it all breaks off, the drones come, or whatever type of technological advancement's going to come, it's going to be Katie bar the door, head to the tunnel systems as best you can, because I know where they are in Kentucky, and we're going to ride this thing out like the Indians did. The Native Americans was telling a story, and the adversary is coming down the street in a different way this time. So fallen angel technology is on the rise. Thoth is probably strategically planning out some type of game plan, and now what? So with that being said, folks, thank you all so very much for your attention. I'm going to cut it off here real quick here this evening. Thank you all so very much, and welcome to the channel. Hit the Visual Disturbance like button and let everybody know that you was here. Share it out. And thank you very much for all your time. And like I said, your thoughts and prayers for all that the last 3 weeks I've been through. It has been nothing but a ride. And my daddy's in a better place now, and he's talking to no telling what he's doing. So he knows what's up. He knows what Mr. Thoth is up to. My dad probably knows it all. Praise God. So with that being said, folks, keep it fresh, keep it real. Thank you. Somebody just dropped a super chat. Thank you so very much. God bless you so very much. Y'all keep it fresh, keep it real. Stay away from the you know what meal. And until next time, Visual Disturbance, I think I'm going to leave it here. That's it. Now what? Let me know what you guys think about this new series of videos here in this broadcast, because I'm going to make a series out of it just like my daily what ifs. So thank y'all very much. I am back. The fog has lifted. The earth has shifted. I'm not supporting another rock band, but hey, here I am, 2026. Welcome to January the 1st, 2026. Hopefully we'll be back very soon. But until next time, friends, and everybody, all walks of life, welcome to humanity, folks. Let's pick up literally, take somebody by the hand and pray with them, hug them, love them. Let's appreciate humanity, what's left of it, and literally let's walk this thing out, because it's all we got. Because everything is like coming off the rails, and we need to be praying that we can overcome these things. Like I said before, Christ is King. Keep it fresh, keep it real. That's it. Now what? Be blessed. See you on the next one. Visual Disturbance, I'm out.
That's it! Now what?